This episode is brought to you by Indie Insights. Indie Insights is our bi-weekly newsletter and love note to the film industry, movies, and the creatives that make them, not to mention you, our esteemed listeners. Inside, you'll find curated industry trends, articles, exclusive commentary, and underappreciated films from filmmakers like you worldwide. And the best part is that it is completely free. So join today at www.bonsai.film. It takes just a few seconds, and once you sign up, you'll get the very next newsletter on Friday morning. It's that simple. Go to www.bonsai.film to get Indie Insights, our bi-weekly newsletter, and join a network of film creatives just like yourself. And don't worry, we'll never sell your information or spam you with a bunch of nonsense emails, just the bi-weekly film industry goodness you need. And if you ever tire of Indie Insights, simply unsubscribe. No gimmicks, no games. So go to www.bonsai.film to get Indie Insights for free. This is Mistakes in the Making.
Hi, I'm Ryan Hartsock, and I'm here to talk about mistakes. I'm going to talk about a Jeep trip with my brother first. I love metaphors, and this trip could not have been a better metaphor for what comes after the story. My brother and I have been trying to plan an off-road trip to Colorado, where we grew up, for probably well over 15 years. I've got 3 kids, he's got 4, we've got full lives, and planning a trip like that is pretty damn hard. But we did it. We finally decided after 15 years, we're just going to do this thing. So, in early October, we headed out, met up in Denver, got on Turo, the Airbnb of car rentals, of which I'm banned. That's another story. And my brother rented a Jeep Rubicon Hemi swap, meaning that the factory version of the engine, the V6, had been swapped with a V8, which had about 390 horsepower, which sounds awesome to drive on the road, because who wouldn't want more power? But when you're off-roading, it proved to be a bit of a problem. We headed out and decided, let's head out to one of our favorite places, Great Sand Dunes National Park in southwest Colorado. But let's go in the back way. Let's go as many off-road roads as we can. And off we went. And it was awesome. It was right at the edge of fall and winter. So winter starts pretty early in Colorado. If you're from out west, you probably know this, that snow can start as early as late September. And here we are, driving into the Great Sand Dunes National Park, and it's snowing. It was awesome. We spend the night at Great Sand Dunes. We get ready, and we have to head back to Denver, but we want to do it creatively. How do we do it in such a way that takes advantage of having a Jeep Rubicon Hemi swap and take advantage of the mountains? So off we go. We decide, why not? We're going to go over a peak. So we head up this peak, somewhere right around Electric Peak. I was looking on Google Maps before this. I can't figure out the exact name of it. I'm sure my brother remembers, but I don't. I only remember being terrified in the back end of the story. On the way up, it's amazing. We go up, and about 10,000 feet up, we start hitting snow. But no one has driven on the road but us. It's like fresh, virgin snow, and we get to be the first Jeep going over it. It's like the dream of most off-roaders. We drive up it. We see deer. We see rabbits. We see nothing but snow in front of us and a great off-road road. We get to the top. We take pictures. We're like, this is awesome. Let's go over the other side. Both of us, in our excitement, forget that the side we just came up had the sun. And the side we're going down, because of the time of day, is in the shadows. Everything that had melted the day before had now become ice. So halfway down on a shelf road basically is on the side of a mountain, there's a small road carved out, and on the other side of that road continues the mountain straight down. And on that shelf road, we realize, crap, this road is just straight ice. There's no way we can do this safely. But we'd already driven almost a mile down it. We try to turn around, and the hemi-swap just doesn't have a little power where you're just like, hey, I just want to touch the gas and go a little bit. It just wants to leap off the mountain. It just wants to go. So after I piss my pants a little bit and tell my brother, listen, we're going to have to back up an entire mile backwards using the rear view cam. He's like, all right. And luckily, this Jeep had a kick-ass camera, and off we went. It was terrifying. And I realized in that moment that I know off-roading pretty well. I grew up out west, but I was no expert. I was rusty. I'm now living in Ohio, and I don't have enough experience that gives me the right to try to tackle something like this. My ambition outran my realistic situation. We got through it. Obviously, I'm talking to you here, but it was terrifying. And it was a metaphor for something that happened early on. I was running a film school where I was trying to help high schoolers who had a vision for film figure out tangible ways to accomplish that vision, giving them opportunities, giving them education, giving them internships, anything I could to help these students accomplish their vision. And several of them were incredibly gifted. They're still, they've gone on to start their own production houses. They've gone on to be directors and DPs and artists. And it blows me away what they've accomplished. Sometimes I feel like they did it in spite of me. Because here I was trying to help them. My ambition was to help them. But it outran the place where I was. My mistake was holding them too tight. My mistake was not realizing that I wasn't equipped fully to help these students do what they needed to do. And instead of turning them loose and saying, hey, here it is, here's the terrain, go tackle it, I tried to navigate it for them. And just like the Jeep, I went out and instead of recognizing where I was and my shortcomings, I went ahead and just plowed forward. And because of that, I think I probably was more of a stumbling block at first for those students until I was kind of slapped silly by reality and realized that these students could do a whole lot more if I had just let their kite string out. So finally I did. And again, in spite of me, they have accomplished a lot. I am so proud of them for what they've done. To watch them driving their own production house, driving business. To watch them become a skilled DP where they're doing amazing commercials and feature films and anything else that comes their way. To watch them paint murals and do this amazing art. And I think to myself, that was a mistake, but it was a gracious mistake. Because even in spite of me, they were able to accomplish what they needed to do. And circling back to the Jeep story, it was a gracious mistake. I didn't go flying off the side of a mountain. I didn't find myself in a predicament that I couldn't get out and damage someone's Jeep beyond repair. I was able to, with the cooperation of my brother, figure out how to back out of it and figure out another route. With these students, I was able to back out with the help of several of my mentors and figure out another way. Yeah, it took a couple of years, but I'm sure glad I did. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. You're going to drive your own Jeep down a road that you just didn't anticipate. But recognize where it is, back it up, and start another journey. Because the adventure doesn't end at a failure. Often, it just becomes a better adventure. My name is Ryan Hartsock. I'm the founder of Wild Creative, a communication studio which does live action, animation, motion graphics, and graphic design. You can find me on LinkedIn and at wildcreative.co. And my journey has been one full of mistakes, full of failures, and I hope full of some successes. And good luck in your own journey.
You've been listening to Mistakes in the Making. If you have your own mistake that you've made while in the film industry and you want to let others know so they don't make the same mistake, reach out to us at contact@bonsai.film and we'll take it from there. You can also reach out to us on social media at _Bonsai Creative on Instagram and Twitter, and you can search for us on YouTube and Facebook by searching for Bonsai Creative. You can also visit our website where we have industry insights and links to all of our podcasts and so much more at www.bonsai.film. And thank you for listening.